Timetabling is actually a nightmare in senior school. How do you feel if I told you that it shouldn't have to be if you use the load shedding timetable method? Now, a load shedding timetable method works similar to how we give some people in the country a blackout when too many of us are on the national grid. We drop them off, then come back for them. Now, how would this work in a CBE senior school setting? First of all, let's understand the context. The context is some schools have 60 subject combinations, 40 subject combinations, and these subject combinations, you've really tried to contain them in the traditional timetable of 844, and you can clearly see the timetable keeps telling you that this animal you're dealing with, CBE, is not the same. So that's why things are not aligning. Now, how do you go about that? If you're going to use a load shedding timetable, you are going to split timetabling into three parts. So you have the first part where you have the core learning area. This means that you see, even if we have 50, 60, 40, 30 combinations in our schools, you find that all our learners share about 5 to 6 subjects, okay, across. So that gives you the core learning areas that are shared across. So these core learning areas, you want them to occupy Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the timetable. So you plan for them for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And make sure you don't put community service learning in the first core learning areas, and I'll tell you why. Now, the second part of your timetable is you have a timetable that runs on Thursdays. So this timetable is a multidisciplinary learning timetable. Why is that important? It's important because mm, our learners, some are taking multidisciplinary subject combinations. You find a learner in STEM taking a subject in social sciences like geography. You find a learner in social sciences taking a subject in STEM or in arts and sports pathway. So you want Thursday to take care of the multidisciplinary learning areas so that learners come together from across the different pathways to take the subjects that they are taking across pathways. And so those learners who are not sharing this predicament can remain in their various class. Then on Friday, you have an activity project based, workshop based timetable. Why this is important, and especially to bring community service learning to this end of the timetable on Fridays, is so that you have more time to implement the community activities. I don't think it's possible to go to the community and implement a project for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It's not possible. But the curriculum is telling you you need to implement these projects or programs in the community as part of the learning. Then some learning areas, especially the technical learning areas, require learners to be in the workshops, okay, to do a lot of work. Then we have laboratory experiences that also need to be taken care of. So you have an activity based timetable. So how does this look like? It looks like three timetables. The first timetable takes care of the core learning areas that run from Monday through to Wednesday. Thursday takes care of multidisciplinary learning areas. Then on Friday, you pick up your activity project based, and then you have the workshop related activities. That way, learners have time to the weekend to be able to do the projects and avail them by Monday. Okay. Now, if you are going to implement a load shedding timetable, you may need to watch the next clip, which is the fourth out of 30 clips. So I'll do 30 clips to help us get an orientation of senior school and get ahead of that. So I'm going to do the fourth clip. You need to watch out for how then do you keep your learners on track? If they are moving up and down, going all over the school, how do you ensure they are learning? So if you have a load shedding timetable, you know right now the nightmare in senior school again is that grade 10 learners are all over. You find them, they're not in class. They tell you they're looking for the teacher. You find the teacher says, I'm looking for students. So it's some catch some very tricky situation going on there. So how do you manage, how do you implement proper learner management in CBE Senior School? So in the next clip, which is the fourth one out of the 30 clips that I'm going to do for navigating senior school, I'm going to tackle how you can develop a learner assessment portfolio that will help you keep this learner on track and for you to be able to manage the learners. Let's understand one thing, that learners in CBE are going to be really difficult to manage because, like I've told you, you have like 60 combinations going on in your school, 40 combinations, 30, 20 combinations going on in your school. How are you going to manage these learners? Remember, trying to use the 844 way may not work because of the nature of learning in a CBE Senior School, which has projects, which has activities, which has a lot of movements up and down. So my name is Andrew Sabuga. I am a curriculum specialist and I am a grade 10 parent. So I've worked with parents this journey of CBE. If you look at my other clips here, we started working this journey a long time. But I do trainings for teachers and retooling. Kindly get in touch with me. The number is there, link on bio. WhatsApp me and I'll send you the package of the training that we are taking with teachers so that you are part of these. And load shedding timetabling is one of the things that we've really done a lot of work. So not every school is struggling. Probably it's because you still don't know what a load shedding timetable is. And if you're wondering if our trainings could suit you, I have a pre-training session that happens every Wednesday, 2 to 4 p.m., where you can come, look at our course outline on Zoom, ask questions, and determine if that is the right decision for your school system. Kindly don't suffer alone in CBE. A teacher training program with us on Zoom is just 3,200 for 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and you're set to go to align your entire education system. So reach out, look out for my fourth video and the rest of them as they keep coming up to 30. Thank you.